Alright, a lot of you guys in high school and college are always blowing up my DMs asking how to approach that cute girl at school. So today, I'm gonna break it down for you real quick because this shit is really simple. But before we get into that, I want you to imagine the girl in your class that you want to approach. Ready? Okay, here we go. Number 1, try to sit next to her in class. This one is simple, but it's also the easiest way to strike up a conversation with her. Once you position yourself next to her, it increases the chances that she'll notice you and you'll be on her radar. And if you're well-dressed and stylish like you should be, sitting next to her will easily grab her attention and separate you from everyone else. You don't even need to say anything the first time you sit next to her, or even the first few times you sit next to her. Just sitting next to her enough times will make her notice you, and it'll make her subconsciously more comfortable with you since you'll become familiar to her. Now, don't use this as a way to procrastinate talking to her for the whole year. And then, once school is over, you're going on YouTube and complaining that it's impossible to get girls. You can and should talk to her literally the first time you sit next to her by using this next tip. Number 2, make a comment about what's going on in class. If the teacher says something weird or anything even remotely interesting happens, just turn to her and make a comment about it. She won't see it as weird or unnatural since you're sitting next to her, and it makes sense that you would make a comment to her because you guys are right next to each other. This is why I recommend sitting next to her because it makes this step way easier. If you're sitting next to someone or standing next to someone and something happens, it's natural to turn and say something about it. But if you're on the other side of the room, you can't just yell across the room and be like, "Hey, Julie, did you see what just happened? That was so weird, right?" No, of course you can't do that. So do your best to sit next to her. The benefit of sitting next to her is also that you don't have to rush into getting her number. You can build up the interactions and make her comfortable with you by talking to her a few times in class before getting her number. Knowing that you'll see her again in the future is an easy way to take the initial pressure off trying to get the number and can allow you to focus on just talking to her normally and building up the interaction. This way, you can calm your nerves and just focus on doing one thing at a time. It's easier to get the courage to just make a comment in class one day than to go up to her, start a conversation, talk a little, get her interested, and get her number. I know just thinking about it makes your palms sweat and get you all nervous and anxious. And if you're gonna be sweating when you approach her, you want to make sure you cut that out before you talk to her. Otherwise, you're gonna smell like shit and there's no way she'd like you. So, bonus tip. Use a premium body powder like Chassis down there in your sac region to prevent sweating and swamp ass when those nerves kick in. You won't have to worry about your balls sweating and sticking to your leg, or leaving a swamp ass puddle in your seat when you get up to go to the bathroom because it'll definitely turn her off. Chassis is the best option because it smells manly, it's free of talc, it uses natural ingredients to make sure your skin stays sweat and odor free. It prevents painful chafing and it stays in its original powder form, so you don't have to worry about having a pasty mess in your pants from sweat and powder. They also offer an innovative shower primer and restoration cream to make sure you're squeaky clean from shower to sex. I'll have their site and Amazon links below for you guys to check out and make sure your meatball men are dry and ready for some action. Number 3, just ask for her number. If you're in the same class and you've talked to her a few times, just mention an assignment and ask for her number so you guys can help each other out with it. This is probably the easiest and most organic way to ask for it because if you guys are going to be helping each other out with notes and studying, then she has an incentive to give you her number, so don't be afraid to just ask for it. It's really not that weird to get a girl's number to discuss shit going on in class, and she won't think it's a big deal either. Number 4. If you can't sit next to her for whatever reason, or she's not in your class, then you're going to have to man up and cold approach. If she's in your class, but you can't sit next to her, then just follow step 3 and mention an assignment to her, then go for the number. Otherwise, you just gotta man up and do it. When I was in school, I used to be hesitant about cold approaching, but an easy way to approach her is to literally just go up to her and introduce yourself. I actually found a lot of success in doing this because although it's not common for guys to do this, it actually helps separate you from all the other guys who are too scared to do it. Cold approaches also help make your intentions clear from the start and will avoid you from getting friend-zoned because if you just randomly approach a girl at school and start talking to her and eventually get her number at the end of the convo, then of course, she's gonna know you're doing it because you're interested in her romantically. An easy thing you can do to start the conversation is just to make a comment about your surroundings like I said before, but if you can't think of anything or there's nothing to make a comment about, just go up to her and say, "Excuse me, what's your name?" And then the conversation will flow naturally from there. You can ask her about her classes, what hobby she has, or just straight up say, "I honestly just thought you were cute and wanted to get your number." This method is straight up and will either give you a yes or a no, so you won't have to waste any time. This is also good if you have a really poppin' Instagram, because if you exchange Instagrams and she sees you're a really interesting guy, then that'll do a lot of the work for you. As long as you're confident, approaching it in a cool way, and smiling, then she'll either be down and continue the conversation, or she'll make it clear that she's not interested. And boom, you got your answer without needing to waste brain space daydreaming about having sex with a girl you never talked to. 5. Get a mutual friend to introduce you guys. This is a really easy way to organically meet a girl, but it requires you to be friends with guys who are good at getting girls and meeting a lot of them. So, you basically have 2 options. Either be really good friends with that guy or become that guy. It's up to you to decide. If you're based as fuck like me, then you can be that guy and make friends with other guys like that. So that way, you'll always have a good pool of girls to talk to. And that's it. In summary, sit next to her in class. Make a comment about something in class. Just ask for her number. Man up and cold approach. Get a mutual friend to introduce you. And be sure to check out our partner Chassis to get some premium powder that will make sure you're staying cool under pressure and never have to deal with sweater odor in the downstairs region ever again.